Hello my dear students, welcome to computer science class. Now let us continue with our chapter Introduction to C++. In our previous video we have seen with the string functions how the string length, the string concatenate, string copy, string compare works, right? Now let us see with a further, that is how does the string reverse, string upper and string lowercase works, okay, with a programming example. So we have studied in case of character functions, how to convert this character into the uppercase and the lowercase. Similarly here also with the respective with the string functions we are able to convert the given string into uppercase and into the lowercase by using the string upper and by using the string lower. Remember students, whenever you are writing for the examination, when this any 5 string functions, when they ask you to give examples, and if you are writing this, you shouldn't write like string upper. That's wrong. How it is there, str upr, the same name only should be used as a function name, because this is the name that has been recognized by the compiler. Some any other your own name, if you are giving like strupper, then it is not a built-in function. It will not be considered as one of the string functions. So that is why always please take care of these names, as it is you have to use these built-in functions. Okay, fine. Now let us see what is string reverse. String reverse, it actually converts a string yes, given yes, whatever the argument you are passing, it converts this given string into its reverse. Suppose for example, if you are giving madam, when you do the reverse it should give me as madam. Suppose if you are giving the word as cat, cat, when you reverse it, it should give me as a tac, like this. It completely reverses the given string. Okay, then string upper, it will convert the string, whatever the string you are passing in this argument, no, that particular string will be converted to the uppercase. Similarly with the string will be converted into the lowercase. Now let us understand this with a programming example here. Yeah, so we have taken here 3 strings, that is string 1 is capital uppercase ABCD. I have taken the string 2, I have taken the name as Raj, which is of lowercase, and string 3 is again an uppercase Ram I have taken. And we have taken the 3 variables of type character, that is result 1, result 2 and result 3. Firstly, I am doing the string reverse. String reverse, to which string I am applying, which string I want to reverse it, that is string 1, that is ABCD. Okay, then string upper, I am converting the string to the uppercase. Which string it is, that is string 2, that is Raj. Then string lower, that means Ram, whatever is there in the string 3 should be converted to the lower case. So by looking at this code only you will get to know what is the string reverse answer should be, what is string upper answer should be, and string lower. And this I have I've used the built-in function. The next step is to print that. So first one is the reversed string is, I'm printing where is my answer. My answer is in string 1. It will be converted, it will be reversed and it will be stored in the same string. So answer is in string 1. Here the uppercase, so it will be converted, whatever the values are, whatever the characters are there, it will convert to uppercase, and the still answer will be stored in the same string. So answer is in string 2. The lowercase answer is in the, that is string 3. Okay, now let us see the output. See the output when we execute this particular program, how I got is reversed string is, I have given ABCD, therefore I got it as DCBA. Completely it will be reversed. I had given this Raj to be as a lowercase, because I have applied the, I have converted to the string uppercase, I got how it is as the capital, that is Raj. Understood? In the uppercase. So Ram was in the uppercase, I have converted to the lowercase, I got the answer in terms of the lowercase. Now this is cursor actually. Okay, this is how we are getting the output when you apply string reverse, string upper and the string lower. I hope students all the functions of string functions and the character functions are clear to you. So just for your purpose to understand how exactly these functions are being used, these programming examples I have given. Otherwise you should just in the examination you should just mention the function name and mention the description. Okay, that's all is fine. But here in case of whenever you are providing with the writing with a string function, please do pass the arguments like s1 comma s2. String concatenate always work with the two strings. If you are just passing one string, that's a wrong answer, that's a wrong function. And if you are just writing string concat for shortcut is cat here, string concat, and if you are not passing any of the argument here, this will be considered as completely as 0. Understood? So without arguments, these string functions and the character functions will not work. Understood? Okay, moving on to the next very important topic, that is the console input output functions. Now console input output functions, in the sense, console in the sense what? The screen, output screen. Okay, the command prompt, that is a command prompt where you are executing. So console input functions were mainly being divided into two types. One is the single character function and the multiple character functions. Single character means, suppose if I have to read any single character from the keyboard and I have to display only the single character, okay, onto the user, onto the display screen, onto the output screen, then I can go for the function that is getChar and putChar. Suppose if I have to read multiple characters from the keyboard which is being given by the user, and I have to print it onto the display screen or the output screen with the multiple characters if it is there, then I can use the built-in function gets and puts. So therefore the console input output functions was mainly divided into single character functions, that are getChar and putChar, and multiple character functions, that is gets and puts. So how is the syntax to be written? GetChar, okay, getChar, whatever it has been reading through the getChar function. So how we were reading the contents from the keyboard when the user enter the character, and you are entering the character as A. When you type the character as A from the keyboard, which was the object that was actually accepting your input was the scene object. Now here, in case of scene object, we instead of that we can use the built-in functions, getChar, in order to read the character whichever is been entered from the keyboard by the user, to read and it to store in the memory. Instead of scene, we can also use a built-in function as getChar. Now whenever it was a printing statement, I was always saying that console output, cout is a statement that is used to print the contents. Instead of cout, you can also use the putChar. Okay, putChar is a built-in function. Now what is the thing is, this can only read a single character, and this putChar can print only a single character. Okay, if it is so, then I can use these built-in functions. What if I have to use the multiple characters, like for example C programming, this is a multiple characters, right? In that case, instead of again using the scene object to read, I can use the gets function, gets, G-E-T-S, gets function. Similarly, if I have to print the multiple characters, instead of the cout object, I can use the puts function. So there are some alternative. These are the inbuilt functions which are used to read and print the single characters and the multi-character functions. Okay, syntax is whatever you have read, okay, through the getChar will be assigned into another variable. So when you display this particular character, when you print with this particular character, the answer will be shown. Similarly, putChar, gets function and the puts function. Okay, let me show this one. Let us understand what is exactly the getChar, putChar is. getChar is one of the console input output function. In order to use these built-in function to read the single character and to print, okay, to read the multi-character functions and to print multiple character functions, we need to include a header file known as stdio.h. It is stdio.h. You can refer to the textbook in the page number 173. It is stdio.h. In examination, they will give you mention any two functions of stdio.h header file. Then out among these four, any two functions you can explain. Now let us come to the getChar. getChar always returns a single character from the standard input device. That is, which is your standard input device? That is nothing but your keyboard. Through the keyboard, okay, it accepts only the single character from the input device, and usually getChar will not take any parameters or the argument. See here, the blank, what else? this brackets are of, it's an empty bracket, no, so therefore it says that it doesn't take any of the argument or parameter, okay, and hence it returns, and hence it is returned with only a single input character. It can hold only a single input character. So what it is, getChar, it is saying that it accepts only a single character from the standard output device, that is from the keyboard by which has been entered by the user, and getChar doesn't take any of the parameter. Instead it returns only the input character. Similarly, we have the put character here. Put character, what it does, it takes only one argument. It takes one argument, okay. It takes one argument, which is the character to be sent to the output device. See, this is the getChar, which is actually accepting the data which has been entered by the keyboard by the user, single character, and it will store in the memory. Then how to print it? PutChar, it will take that one argument, it will accept that argument, okay, and takes that particular character and send it to the output device. That is, means it displays it onto the output device, that is monitor, and therefore it returns this particular, whatever it has been displaying, no, that particular the whatever character it is displaying, no, it returns that character as a result onto the output screen. Only in simple words, getChar is a function, okay, it reads only the single character from the standard input device, that is keyboard, and doesn't take any of the parameter, whereas PutChar, it takes one argument or the parameter and and takes that character to the standard output device, that is monitor. So this much if you write is also fine. Now let us understand this one with the example. Now see here, okay, I have taken a variable known as C of data type as character. Cout, enter a character, okay, enter a character. Instead of using cin, what I am doing, I am reading, I am actually accepting the character. Now here, see, enter a character, I have given the character as E. This E, it's a single character, will be read by the function known as getChar, and that value will be assigned to a variable known as C. Understood? Next step is what? Next instruction I have written here in the code is entered character is I am trying to print. Where is your answer? Your answer is in variable as C. By help of Cout, actually you should have been printed, but with the help of PutChar, what is the job of PutChar? PutChar will accept the argument. Can you see here? It will accept the argument or the character and send it to the standard output device. It will send it to the standard output device for the display onto the monitor. Therefore, the entered characters is, it is what is there in the C will be replaced here, that is E. So this is how we are able to read the single character through the help of getChar function, and we are able to print a single character with the help of PutChar function. Instead of using the cin and cout object, we can make use of this console input output functions, that is getChar and PutChar, which belongs to an header file known as #include stdio.h. If I don't include this header file, I cannot use the functions, that is getChar and the PutChar. Students, I hope the concept is clear. So whenever your program demands, as per the situation, it demands to read a single character and to print a single character by using the built-in function, in that case you have to use these particular functions. Is that clear? So these programs, again, they are not there for your examination, just for your understanding purpose, how it is reading the single character, how it is printing. This example was taken. Okay, moving on to the next function, that was the gets and puts, right? So gets function, it gets the string which has been terminated by the new line character from the standard input stream, that is stdin. That is means what? Suppose now if the string, if I am giving that C++ programming, this is a string C++ space programming. So gets is a function, it accepts the string which has been terminated by the new line. That means C++ programming, after giving that input, I will actually press enter. When I press enter means it is taking the new line character from the input device, that is standard input device is nothing but from the keyboard. See, when the user asks enter the string, when it asks, I am typing from my keyboard as C++ space programming, and after typing that input actually I press the enter. When I press the enter, this gets function, it will accept the entire string along with the new line character from the standard input device that is known as the keyboard. That is standard in the sense standard input device, that is keyboard. Moving on to the next is the puts function here. Puts function, it takes the string which is to be sent to the output device. Whatever it is being read by the gets function, this puts function takes that string and it will send it to the standard output device, that is monitor. Now let me show the example here. Yeah, I've taken the two string, the string 1 whose capacity is 20, string 2 whose capacity is 20. Now here I'll show you the difference between the if I read the contents with the scene object and if I read the string with the help of gets function, what is the difference here? First, see out, enter the string using gets function. That means what? Enter the string, okay, using gets function. This is just a see out statement. Now this is \n, that's a new line character. I want everything to appear in the new line, that's why this is a new line, this is an escape sequence character, isn't it? So I have written this, therefore the next see out statement is appearing in the new line for me. If I had not given this new line character, everything would be appearing in the single line and we would not be able to see the output so clearly. That is why I am using the escape sequence character which stands for the new line, that is \n. Okay. Then when the user is entering, now here example what I have entered, C space programming, I have entered this. After entering this, okay, after C programming, after typing this, I have pressed an enter here. So till I press enter, everything will be read by the function known as gets. Like in previous example, how I was using the getchar to read the contents from the keyboard. So instead of that, now I am using the gets function. So this is C programming, everything will go and it will be stored in the string 1, okay, and it will be read by the gets function. Secondly, what I am doing, enter a string using scene object, I am telling. It's a just a statement, okay, enter a string, I am asking from the user to enter this time, but this time I am reading all the contents by using the scene object. But this time also I'll give the same input as C space programming and then I'll press enter. This is the input. Then what happened? Next step is I have read it. And this time the contents are being saved in the which variable? String 2. The next step is I need to display. Now how I need to display? See out, entered string by using gets function. That means what I'm telling is I want to print. Okay, I want to print the string which is being read by the function known as gets. So what I am doing, entered string by using gets function. So where the contents are being stored in string 1. So what I am doing is puts of string. That means I am printing that string which is being read by the gets function, that is string 1. So puts of string 1. When I do this, so this gets function, what it does, it completely reads the entire string even though it encounters the blank space here. C blank space PROGRAMMING, up to this it will read the entire content. Therefore therefore by using puts function, when I display, all the complete string will be displayed like C programming. Are you able to see? Next what I am trying to print here, entered string using scene object is, that means whatever I have read the string by using the scene object, the same thing I want to print by using the cout. See, cout is nothing but it is a printing statement. Scene is a statement that is only to read the content. So whatever the string 2 was being read by using scene, as the same string I am trying to print it. When I am trying to print by using the cout object, see here, entered string by using scene object is only C. It didn't read this particular complete string, that is the Disadvantage by using the scene operator. So scene, how it reads, it will first encounter this character. Once it encounters the blank space, once it encounters the blank space, it treats it as an end of the string. It treats it as an end of the string, and further it will not read at all. That is the disadvantage in case of the scene object. Therefore, if I have to read any multiple characters, okay, I can use the built-in function, that is gets and puts function. Gets function, what it does, it reads the entire string. Though it encounters the blank space also, it reads the entire string until it encounters the new line. Because C programming, after this I will press enter. Till that it will read and store it in the memory. Second time I am trying to enter the string, but this time I am trying to read all those contents by using the scene object, and that content I am storing in the string 2. That means string 1 is also holding C programming language, C programming. String 2 is also, I have given the input as C programming, but since I am reading with the scene object, I have typed it here, I have typed C programming and pressed enter, but scene, it first comes here, it reads this character. Second, it tries to read, it encounters the blank, then it considers that is the end of the string. That means only C will be stored in string 2. Only C will be stored in string 2. Now when I am trying to print, okay, puts function will go and fetch into the computer memory whatever the gets function is being stored. Gets have complete string, so therefore the puts function will fetch everything what is there in the string 1, and everything will be displayed here with the help of puts function. Similarly, when I am trying to print it with the string 2 with the cout, okay, scene has read only as C. The cout will go and it will check in the string 2 what is being stored. It is only stored only as a C it is stored. So therefore only C will be displayed. So this is how the gets and the puts function help you to read the multiple character functions. I hope with the examples you can clearly understand when we have to use get char and put char, and when we have to use gets and puts function. One more question you can expect here, students. Write the difference between get char and put char, they will ask. Only thing is, you just write the description what it is. The get char helps you to read the single character from the standard input, that is the keyboard, and it doesn't take any kind of parameter, whereas put char, it takes only one parameter, which is where the character has to be sent to the standard output device, that is monitor. So this difference only which is there already in the description, the same thing if you write, that will be considered as the difference. I hope you are able to understand. Moving on to the next, that is the general purpose standard library functions. So here we are again having the 4 function, that is randomize, random, and then converting from the string to the integer, converting integer to the string. So here I will not be explaining with the programming example, okay, so because we are not using these much, so just we shall understand what these functions are, that is more than enough. To use these built-in function like random, randomize and all, we are using the header file known as standard library, that is stdlib.h. stdlib.h as a header file we are using in order to use these 4 functions. So this randomize actually initializes or seeds the random number generator with a random number. So for example, I'll give a real-time example in order to understand. Like every time when you do the bank transactions or the online transactions, whenever you try to do, every time you're getting an OTP, right? OTP, what it is? One time password. One time password, actually it is nothing but one random number which is being generated by the system based upon the time it is generated. And now you have done the transaction. After half an hour, one more different transaction you try to do. Again, will you get the same random number? No, right? You are getting the different OTP. That is, you are getting the different password. OTP, one time password you are getting. That is again a different random number. So if you want to generate any random number which is based upon the time then you have to use the built-in function known as randomize. Randomize will generate the random numbers, okay, based upon the time it is generating. Similarly, we have one more function known as random function. This random function generates the random number between the minimum and the maximum value. Now both does the same thing. This also generates a random number, this also generates, but it is working on the time, therefore it will never generate the same random number, okay, based upon the time it is generating. But here in case what happens, suppose if I am giving if I want to generate the random number between 1 to 100, now you use the random function, random numbers you may get 50 and 51, okay, 60, 69. So these you may get. After some time again you execute with this using random number, again you will get 50, 51, 60 and 69. That means what static random numbers it will generate. Okay, every time you run the program, same random numbers will be generated if you retain the same limit from 0 to 100. If you change the limit, definitely again the different sequence of random number will be generated. But here in case of randomize, it doesn't happen. Every time, how many number of times you want, you can run the program. Every time there will be a different sequence of random numbers will be generated, because it is working based upon the time. That is what it is telling. It initializes or seeds, in the sense it is working based upon the time the random number would be generated. Understood? Okay, moving on to the next function, that is a to I. It is a to I, that is means it is converting the string. A represents actually alphabets, okay, so it is converting from string into the numerical representation. And again I to A means it is converting from the integer number, in the sense I, it is actually stands for integer, that is number. It is converting from number to a string. So if there is any calculations wherein you have to convert the strings to the numerical representation or numerical to string representation, then we are using these two built-in function, that is a to I and I to E. So just you should know why they are being used. That is enough here. Okay, but what the library function or the header file we have to use these function is standard library.h, that is stdlib.h. Moving on to the very last concept. Okay, very last concept, that is the getch and getche functions. Okay, so these getch and getche function, they belongs to an header file known as conio.h. conio.h. Let me explain here. Getch is a function that echoes the character to the screen. Okay, getch doesn't echoes the character to the screen. That means what? Here I'll explain with an example. Now see here, I've taken two variables ch and c, okay, of data type as character. I'm asking the user to enter a character. When the user enter a character, that character is being read by the function known as getche. That means instead of using the scene object, I'm using the getche function, and after reading it, it will be stored in a variable known as ch. Okay, then I'm printing cout entered character is. See, already one cout statement is there. If I had not used the new line character here, either you can use new line character here or you can use the starting of the cout statement. If I haven't used, no, the it would get the next cout statement would get here only. Now next is what? Entered character is, I'm trying to print whatever has been read by the getche function. Similarly, again I'll be asking the user to enter a character. This time I'm reading the character by function known as getch, and I'm storing in a variable known as c, and then later I'm trying to print it. Now what is the difference between getche and getch is, getche, what it does, it function echoes the character to the screen. See, enter a character, when it is asking, I will enter x. Okay, when I enter x, immediately without waiting for a fraction of second, immediately it will print me the entered character is x. But previously what happened with the previous examples and all, enter a string by using gets function or whatever it is, whenever it will ask the user to enter the string or a character, after giving this input, actually we will type the enter. Okay, we will type the enter. Until that, cursor keeps on blinking here only. When I type enter, the compiler understand that is the end of the input. But if I'm reading the character by using getChe function, it doesn't wait. Automatically it will echoes in the sense automatically it will print the input character what it has been read immediately, without it will not even wait for the user to press enter also. Directly it will echoes the character to the screen. When I press enter the character, when it will ask, when I click on, when I press the X as an alphabet, automatically I'll get an output as the entered character is X. Without, it will not even wait for me to press even enter also. Okay, next getChe, what happens? See here, getChe also, it will read the character, but it doesn't provide the output immediately. It will not echo the character to the screen immediately. So enter a character. What I have actually entered here D. I have entered actually D, but it doesn't echo onto the output screen. Doesn't echo in the sense print. Okay, it doesn't print onto the output screen. But when I execute, when I try to print the what is the entered character, but automatically it will show me what I have entered here. The character was actually as D. I hope you are able to understand the difference. getChe is a function. getChe is a function that belongs to a library function, that is conio.h. Remember, these both will belong to getChe, and getChe belongs to a header file known as a conio.h. getChe, whatever it has been reading as an input character, automatically it will echoes onto the output screen. That means automatically it will print onto the output screen without making the user to even press the enter. Whereas in case of getChe, what it will getChe function, what it does, it doesn't echo the character what has been read onto the output screen. That means it doesn't print what character is being given by the user onto the output screen. Instead, when we want the output, automatically it actually prints. So usually you may get the difference question as what is the difference between getChe and getChe. You just write this as a difference. getChe function echoes the character to the screen, whereas getChe doesn't echoes the character to the screen. So this completes the chapter, that is Introduction to C++. Students, this chapter is very, very important from your exam point of view, as well as the programming concept. It is the basic to learn the programming concepts. So be thorough with this chapter. Once again, you listen to all the videos. Okay, if you have any doubts during doubt clarification session, definitely I will clear all your doubts. Okay, please do solve the assignment. Thank you, students. Take care of yourself.